just a few words about my understanding of the meaning of the chant that we just did before. It's very, very consistent with our practice and the philosophical tradition behind it. Tantrism, Kashmir Shaivism, there are many different traditions that basically have this point of view towards life. So when that first line, it really asks to lead me, and it's addressing the universal, the absolute behind our existence, the divine. Lead me from the unreal to the real. I mean, that was one of Rudi's favorite statements, basically, Invest in your reality and starve your illusion. So when we're asking, to move from the unreal, then we're asking to move from our illusions and patterns and attachments to tensions, and by opening more to what's real in us, which is the basic beingness and the energy flow within us. That's what's real. It changes form always, but it's real in the sense that it's always there. So we consciously move our attention from the unreal, our patterns and so on, and allow ourselves to open to what is real in us. And in that presence that we can feel at the core of ourselves, there really is such a liberation and gradual sense of joy and freedom to just be. The next line is lead me from darkness to the light. And I'm sure all of you can feel that in yourself as we all do, get pressured by the darkness of our attachments and past patterns, which we want to dissolve. And in dissolving those patterns and attachments, we can always open to the light. And that is, through the breathing, circulation breath, and the double breathing exercise. And simply by this kind of chanting and asking from within. The main thing, that can get us there is by consciously asking for it. That way we set up a relationship between our individual soul and the absolute consciousness behind all of existence. The last line, lead me from death to eternal life. Death is a bit of a, if not frightening, at least, unwelcome thing for most people, if not to say all people. But we can, through the practice and through the chant and asking for it, be led, from this sense of dread and fear into a light and an eternal life. I mean, there is something eternal in all of us. The eternal life is basically who we are. And that basic eternal life, is the consciousness at the core of everything that manifests as individual souls, and everything that we see in the universe. And then everything that we see as a manifestation, including ourselves, is just a projection of that consciousness. So this is a powerful notion, that we can relate to and gradually build a connection with, so that whatever fear we have, dread, anxiety, it can be dissolved in the recognition that we are the absolute, which is expressing itself as our body, mind, and individual soul. But, it is always there as the Parashiva, or as the absolute dimension, which represents eternal life. And the more we can free ourselves and use this witness awareness that I've talked some about, to just witness our life story as an expression of the divine, expression of the eternal. So we constantly, I like to also talk sometimes about investing in your inner bank. And that's what I mean by saying that, is that we invest in our eternal dimension. Eternity, in this sense, is not, just a long time. Eternity, in this sense, is the forever being that we all are and share. So it is basically that ultimate, the absolute, which keeps manifesting, lasting a while, then dissolving. And it's totally natural, all of it. But it's not so easy to let go of all the attachments to it. In many ways, we can benefit tremendously just by feeling a little better, feeling a little less attached to the illusion of who we are, and feeling some contact with this liberated inner joy. Whatever life I have, I want it to be joyful and free and without fear and anxiety. So I want to invest every day that I have in the eternal at the core of myself, so that that vibration can continue to vibrate also after my physical body is gone, and can be of some nourishment to some people who are open to use it that way. So I think it's a beautiful chant, and it sets up a vibration of, identifying with our own inner wish. As Rudi said, this wish is an extremely powerful tool to move from the darkness to the light. And we don't need to have any guilt about any obstacles that we feel, any darkness that we feel. Guilt doesn't help at all. When you feel that darkness, try to feel a little bit of gratitude that you can recognize the darkness, because then you can use the darkness to motivate you to move gradually more and more into the light.